Ever feel like your child is speaking a different language? Like they're doing something but you have absolutely no clue why? I'm Tim, and trust me, you are not alone.
Oh, absolutely not. And I'm Edna. Figuring out the why behind your child's behavior can be like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded, but it doesn't have to be.
Exactly. That's why today on the Rising Parent podcast, we're diving deep into one of our listeners' episode topic requests, decoding your child's behavior, understanding the why. We're going to explore the reasons kids do what they do and give you some practical tools to navigate those tricky moments.
Because let's be honest, parenting isn't just about reacting to behavior, it's about understanding it. And that understanding, that's where the magic happens. It really is. It's like unlocking a secret code.
Absolutely. And don't forget, new episodes of the Rising Parent podcast drop every Monday and Friday. So make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode.
Okay, ready to crack the code, Tim?
Born ready, Edna. Let's do it. Okay, so decoding behavior. It sounds a little intense, right? Like we're CIA agents or something?
Totally. That it's really just about being a detective. Think of it as parenting CSI, child scene investigation.
I love it. Okay, so first things first. Why is it so important to understand the why? Why not just focus on stopping the behavior we don't like?
Well, Tim, think of it this way. Imagine you have a headache. You could just keep popping painkillers, right? Mask the symptom. But wouldn't you rather figure out why you have the headache in the first place? Are you dehydrated? Stressed?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Treat the root cause, not just the symptom.
Exactly. It's the same with kids. If you just punish or scold without understanding the underlying need or emotion, you're not actually teaching them anything. You're just suppressing the behavior, and it'll probably pop up again in a different form.
So it's kind of like a whack-a-mole situation. You get one thing under control and something else pops up.
Precisely. And think about the long-term impact. When we understand the why, we can teach kids healthier ways to express their needs and emotions. We're setting them up for emotional intelligence and resilience later on. I remember a time with one of our daycare clients. Her daughter was always grabbing toys from the other kids, which of course led to tears and frustration.
Yeah, I remember her daughter. Always a handful.
Right? But instead of just scolding her, we started paying close attention. What was happening right before she grabbed the toy? We realized she was doing it when she felt left out of a game or activity.
Aha! So it wasn't about the toy itself.
Nope. It was about connection. So we started proactively including her, giving her a role to play, even if it was just handing out the blocks. And guess what? The grabbing stopped almost immediately.
Wow! That's a great example of how understanding the why can completely change the dynamic. So how do we as parents become better detectives? Where do we even start?
Okay, first, observation is key. Really watch your child. When does the behavior happen? What are the triggers? What happens right before, during, and after?
So kind of like keeping a mental journal, or even a real one.
Exactly. Write it down. You'll start to see patterns. And don't just focus on the negative behavior. Look for the positive ones too. What makes them happy? When are they most cooperative? That gives you clues too.
Okay, so observation is step one. What's next?
Empathy, my friend. Put yourself in their little shoes. What might they be feeling in that moment? Remember, kids don't always have the words to express what's going on inside.
Yeah, that's so true. It's easy to forget that they're still learning how to manage their emotions.
Right. And sometimes the why is surprisingly simple. Are they tired, hungry, overstimulated? I recall a coaching client was pulling her hair out because her son was having constant meltdowns after school.
Oh, yeah, he was a little tornado, as I recall.
Seriously, she thought it was some deep-seated emotional issue. Turns out he was just starving. She started packing him an extra snack for the car ride home, and the meltdowns vanished. Poof!
Wow. Sometimes the simplest solution really is the best. Okay, so we've got observation, empathy. What else is in our detective toolkit?
Communication, of course. Talk to your child. Ask open-ended questions. What's going on? How are you feeling? What do you need?
But what if they're too young to really articulate what they're feeling? Or, they just clam up and say, I don't know.
That's where your detective skills really come in. Try offering suggestions. Are you feeling frustrated because you can't reach that toy? Are you feeling sad because your friend isn't playing with you? Sometimes just naming the emotion for them can help.
Okay, that's helpful. So instead of asking, why are you doing that, which can feel accusatory, try to frame it in terms of their feelings.
Exactly. And even if they can't fully explain it, the fact that you're trying to understand makes a huge difference. It validates their feelings and builds trust.
So it's not about interrogating them, it's about creating a safe space for them to share.
Precisely. And remember, their behavior is a form of communication. They're telling you something, even if they don't know how to say it directly.
Okay, this is all making sense. But what about when the why is something we don't like? Like, what if they're acting out to get attention, even negative attention?
The attention-seeking behavior. That's a classic. And it's tough because it can be so frustrating. But remember, even negative attention is better than no attention at all in their little minds.
So how do we break that cycle?
Flood them with positive attention when they're not acting out. Catch them being good. Praise their efforts, not just their achievements. Make sure they feel seen and valued, even when they're not demanding your attention. A client of mine was complaining about his daughter, constantly interrupting him when he was on work calls.
The classic work-from-home parent struggle. I feel his pain.
Right? So we talked about setting up some dedicated special time with his daughter, even just 15 minutes a day of uninterrupted play or reading. The goal was to fill her attention bucket so she wouldn't feel the need to constantly interrupt.
And did it work?
Like a charm. He said the interruptions decreased significantly, and they actually started enjoying their time together more.
That's awesome. So proactive attention is key.
Absolutely. And remember, consistency is crucial. It takes time to break old patterns. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight.
Okay, so we've talked about observation, empathy, communication, and proactive attention. Are there any other common whys that parents should be aware of?
Oh, definitely. One big one is unmet needs. Are they getting enough sleep? Are they eating healthy foods? Are they getting enough physical activity? Our daycare kids always behave best after a good long nap and some healthy snacks.
Makes perfect sense. A hangry kid is not a happy kid.
Nope. And another common one is feeling powerless. Kids often feel like they have very little control over their lives, so giving them choices can be really empowering.
Like, do you want to wear the blue shirt or the red shirt kind of choices?
Exactly. Or do you want to brush your teeth before or after reading a book? Small choices can make a big difference in their sense of autonomy.
Okay, so it's about understanding their needs, both physical and emotional, and giving them a sense of control whenever possible.
Precisely. And remember, you're not expected to be perfect. We all make mistakes. The key is to keep learning, keep growing, and keep trying to understand your child.
Yeah, and to give yourself a little grace along the way. Parenting is hard work.
The hardest, but it's also the most rewarding.
Absolutely. So let's recap the key takeaways, Edna.
Okay, so first, remember to be a detective. Observe your child's behavior, look for patterns, and consider the triggers.
Second, practice empathy. Put yourself in their shoes and try to understand what they might be feeling.
Third, communicate openly. Ask questions, listen to their answers, and validate their feelings.
Fourth, provide proactive attention. Fill their attention bucket with positive interactions.
And fifth, address unmet needs. Make sure they're getting enough sleep, food, and physical activity.
And give them choices. Empower them to feel like they have some control over their lives.
And most importantly, remember to be patient and kind to yourself and your child. Decoding behavior is an ongoing process. It's not a destination, it's a journey.
Well said, Edna.
Thank you, Tim.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you found this helpful.
We really do. And if you have a burning parenting question that you'd love for us to tackle, just go to risingparent.org/podcast and send us an episode topic request. We'll make an episode just for you.
That's right. We love hearing from you, and we're always looking for new topics to explore. And remember, new episodes of the Rising Parent podcast are released every Monday and Friday.
So, until next time, keep rising.
Keep thriving.